And we're back with some more Western Michigan Broncos franchise mode in FHM 9. And in this one, we have the verbal commitment stage of year number 5. So let's get right to it. Oh, we got one. Rick McIlwam is a half-star ability, 5-star potential, 15-year-old defenseman. And we got that from Merrimack's nomination. And now we have our own nomination, the very next pick. So you have Daniel Farquharson, good puck handler, right D, 17 years of age. Yeah, he wouldn't be a bad one to pick. I mean, he looks like he's the best player available. Yeah, he is by far the best player available, not only in terms of potential, but his ability as well. There's only one other 1-star ability in Al Pope, who is also 17, but only a 3-star potential according to what we know about him. So I think it's a no-brainer here. Daniel Farquharson, and we have his verbal commitment. So good to have a couple of names already committed to us. And we got another one, Eric Thomason, who is 15 years of age, center. And another one, that's 4 in a row, Freddie McDowell. And there's another, Steve Morrison. And there's another, Alan Hammers. And this is all within the first 11 picks, by the way. So we're looking pretty good for verbal commitments at the moment. And there's another one, Dennis Veek, 4.5-star potential winger. And there's one, Ed Copeland. Once again, not too impressive, but it's not like it really matters at this stage anyway. I mean, this is all just for possibly getting players on National Signing Day. So there's really no limit as to the amount of players we can get here. Oh, we got another one, Troy Jennings, 15-year-old, 4-star potential. There's one, Matt Calfee, 2.5-star potential. And here's our own nomination. I think we're gonna go for probably Ully, Kent Ully. Either him or Yellowbird. Goddard's not bad either. Yeah, I think we'll go with Yellowbird here. There you go. Got another. All right, I think we're gonna go for Josh Davidson here. He is the last 4.5-star potential available up to this point. And there it is. So perhaps Deke Davidson's brother here. I mean, I doubt it. He's probably generated, but yeah, he definitely looks like he's generated. Meanwhile, Deke Davidson's actually been in the simulation since year 1, so he might not be generated. I think next I'm gonna go for Patrick Krupp. There it is. Andrew Holliston, the goaltender. We're down to 2.5-star potentials. I think I'll take Chad Einhorn here. 6'5", big kid. Only 160 pounds though for being 6'5". That's a bit, definitely needs to fill out a bit there. So Einhorn, there you go. And we are now at our next nomination, and I believe it's gonna be Fox because there's not many good players left at this point. So Mark Fox, nominate you. There you go. Podritsky, and we're getting to that point where I really don't particularly care who we get anymore. So yeah, we're gonna let the computer finish the nominations here. So I think with that being done, we will get through the rest of year number 5 and get up to the playoffs. All right, so we're on March 5th. We're in the last 2 games of the season. I feel like this is the 3rd year in a row, at least, where we face Miami at the very end of the season twice. There's definitely something going on with the schedules here, because it feels like it's been the same, at the very least, like I said, the past 3 years. And we did manage to win both of them 7-0 as it happens. So very, very good way to go into the NCAA tournament. We finished 27-4-3. I believe that is, yes indeed, that is our best record to date. 57 points on the season. And as we take a look at the division standings, we finished 10 points ahead of Minnesota Duluth, who are in second. So a very, very good season for your Western Michigan Broncos. Hopefully it does not go for nothing in the end. So let's take a look at the player stats. My goodness, look at how many 5-star players we have now. Davidson, Ross, Fiddler, Goshzik, and Tetarenko, all 5-star players. None of them are seniors, by the way. So that is quite impressive. Although I can't imagine that some of them are going to be staying beyond this year, given their talent. Like an NHL team is sure to swipe at least a couple of them up. So look at the stats for forwards. You have Goshzik and Tetarenko lead the way with 34 points each. Tetarenko in 31 games rather than 34. Tinling with 29. 25 for Kettinen. 22 for Lindfors. 15 for Juntorp. 13 for Zinchenko. 10 for Brooks, Smith, and Holchak. 9 for Risto. 8 for Stenman. 7 for Lundberg and Portillo, 6 for Converton, Kelvgard and Izagai, 5 for Person and Grenier, and 3 for Doucette and Sinkinen. On defense, you have Cardano with 26 points, 24 for Fiddler, 22 for Davidson, 16 for Ozelinch and Ross, 14 for D'Alessandro, 5 for Zapp, 4 for Ratty, Kroll, and Stenger, and 3 for Dupuis. And in goal, Bruvieris in 13 games played with 2 shutouts and a .947 save percentage, and Howitz in 21 games played with the 6 shutouts and a .926 save percentage. So a very, very good season for everybody here. Let's check out the team stats and see where we finished there. Goals for per game, we finished third in the league with a 4.06. Goals against per game, we finished first in the league with a 1.41. Only 48 goals against in 34 games played. Wow, we were pretty tough to play against. Faceoffs, we finished third in the league with a 54.4. Power play, we finished 44th in the league with a 16.8. So power play as mediocre as ever, but that's fine because it seems like that's the only thing for us that is really an issue, as our penalty kill finished first in the league with a 92.9. So power play aside, everything about this team, once again, very good. And of course, this is all under the direction of our new coach, Tony Hand, who put up a fine performance in his first regular season as head coach, but let's see if he can carry it into the playoffs. That is where it really counts. And once again, this is definitely the year to get it done because we have so many graduating players this year, like Cardona, Tinling, Lindfors, Riveras, Ozelinch, Kettinen, Juntorp, Stenman, Holchak, Zinchenko is a guy. We have so many players graduating this year, so we really got to make the best of it. And then not to mention the players we might lose to the NHL next year. So yeah, this has got to be a NCAA tournament win. And here we go. We have our first matchup, and it will be against the St. Cloud State Huskies, who are 9-22-3 on the regular season. Of course, we're still in the conference playoffs, so this is for the NCHC championship. So here we go. Game against St. Cloud State. Robert Capes with the goal for them. Don't do this, boys. Come on. You're better than this. And there it is. Niels Juntorp with a goal from Zinchenko and Deke Davidson. And we are tied in the middle of the first. Second period underway. Come on, get the go-ahead goal. There it is. Blake Fidler with a goal from Zinchenko and Tinling. And there's another one. Lachlan Tetarenko with a goal from Kroll and D'Alessandro. We're up by 2. And there's one for them. Proctor with a goal. Gets it back to within 1. We're heading into the third period now. And there's one for us. Cardona with a goal from Tetarenko and Gosik. And there's one for Gosik from Ross and Lindfors. We're up by 3 now. And that is all she wrote for game number 1. We're moving on to round number 2. Shots were 47-12 in favor of your Western Michigan Broncos. 3 stars of the game: Gosik, Tetarenko, and Lindfors. And next we'll be facing Minnesota Duluth, who are 23-10-1. So this should be a more interesting game here. Here we go. Game number 2 of the tournament against Minnesota Duluth underway. And that was a very uneventful first period. No scoring and no penalties either. So not much to speak on. Let's get to the second. Really not much happening in this game so far. You have a penalty on their side by Ryman, I believe, in the beginning of the second, but really not much happening here. Come on, boys. Get something going in the third. Oh, man. Minnesota Duluth with the goal by Gunderson gets them up by 1 to start early. But Holchak with a goal for us from Tinling and Juntorp. Break this tie. Break this tie, Western Michigan. Oh, man. And there it is. Juntorp with his second of the playoffs from Holchak and Tinling. And we are up by 1 late in the third period. Come on, hold it. Hold it. Hold it. There it is. We win against Minnesota Duluth, and we move on to the division finals. Shots were 31-16 in favor of your Western Michigan Broncos. 3 stars of the game: Juntorp, Gunderson, and Holchak. And we will be facing off against North Dakota in the finals of the NCHC. They are 15-9-2, so we've faced tougher opponents before. There's no reason we can't win this. Come on, Western Michigan. There it is. Ivan Zinchenko with the first goal of the game from Tinling and Juntorp. We're up 1-0 early. And there's one from Lachlan Tetarenko from Lindfors and Fidler, up by 2. Second period time. Come on, boys. There it is. Spencer Smith from Gosik and Juntorp, up by 3 now. Third period time. Come on. Get that last goal. Get that insurance marker. I mean, we kind of already have the insurance marker, but there it is. Niels Juntorp from Grenier and Zinchenko. And that should just about do it. And we are the champions of the NCHC. We're moving into the NCAA playoffs once again. Shots are 42-14. 3 stars of the game: Juntorp, Zinchenko, and Ross. Well, I can't say I didn't expect that, honestly. I mean, like I said, I would have been very disappointed if we didn't win that. In fact, I dare say more shocked than anything. I would have been shocked if we lost that. So here we go. Start of the NCAA tournament. I'm assuming the same thing is going to happen as what has happened the past couple of years, where the first game of the first round doesn't seem to matter because there's a phantom game after that that happens on the same day. And that's the one that the simulation seems to count when considering the bracket. And it has 2 games on the schedule here, scheduled for the same day. I guess I just didn't notice that before. Like, this is the first time I'm noticing that there are actually 2 games scheduled for the same day, and yet the bracket says it's supposed to be a 1-game series. So yeah, my suspicions are confirmed. That is definitely a bug. All right, here we go. Game number 1 against Clarkson. Let's see if this actually, I mean, I doubt this even matters considering the pattern that has happened over the past couple of years here. Spencer Smith with the goal. And there's a goal for Henricks on their side. So we are at 1-1 through 1. There's another one for us. Spencer Smith with his second goal of the game. And that is the second period, up by 1. Heading into the third period now. It's kind of taking me... there's a goal by Henricks. It's kind of taking me out of it, knowing that this game, like, really doesn't count at all. Niels Jantorp with the goal. And there's one for Cardona. And there's another one for Lindfors from Garcic and Cardona. And we win this one 5-2, but does it matter? Probably not, based off what we've experienced so far. Shots are 35-27 in favor of your Western Michigan Broncos. 3 stars of the game, Cardona, Smith, and Gosick. And yeah, we have another game right after that, so I guess we'll view this one as well, since this is the one that apparently matters. So here we go. Game number 2 against Clarkson. Here we go. First period underway. Come on, boys. Nothing happened in the first. Second period. And there you go. Lachlan Tetarenko with the goal. First goal of the game. We're up by 1. There's another one for us. Kenta is a guy with a goal from Stenman and Brooks. We're up by 2. And there's one. Tim Lindfors from Gosick and D'Alessandro. Up by 3 late in the second. And there's another one. Spencer Smith from Grenier and Cardona. Up by 4. Third period now. And we should have this one all but wrapped up. And yes, indeed, it is the final score. We move on to round number 2. Shots at 35-19 in favor of Western Michigan Broncos. 3 stars of the game. D'Alessandro, Grenier, and Lindfors. Oh no. Blake Fiddler's injured. No. Oh, that's so bad. No. Oh, bruised foot for 1 to 2 weeks. For the NCAA playoffs, that's pretty significant, considering that there's only 4 games. Well, technically 5, but you know what I mean. It's the NCAA playoffs aren't that long. So 1 to 2 week injury, that's pretty long. Considering that the awards are on April 21st. He's missing, I'm going to say, up till the finals. Ugh, that is rough. Honestly, he might miss the whole rest of the tournament. Forget just up until the finals. He might miss the finals too, if we're going at this pace, because the game against Clarkson was on the 30th of March, and now we're on April 1st against Bemidji. So yeah, this whole thing will probably be over before he even gets back. That is unfortunate. I mean, at least he's day-to-day now, but it's still a major injury, so he's not even going to be able to play. All right, here we go. Game against Bemidji State. First period underway. And there's a goal for Stenman from Zapp and Grenier. Up by 1 heading into the second. And not much happened in the second period, so we're still up by 1. Going into the third. Come on now. Oh, Delaney with the goal for Bemidji. We were tied at 1. And there's one for us. Spencer Smith, his 4th goal of the playoffs from Holchak and Gosick. And there's one for them. Nick Hong. The goal to tied at 2. Bit of back and forth action here. And there's a goal for them. Is that short-handed? No, that was 4-on-4. Still, though, not a good one to let up. We have 4:13 remaining. Come on, boys. Gavin Core with the goal for them. And we are out of the NCAA playoffs. That is unfortunate. Shots at 35-22 in favor of your Western Michigan Broncos. 3 stars of the game, Lund, Grenier, and Core. Definitely missed Fiddler in that game. Definitely missed Fiddler in that game. Oh, man. This was supposed to be our year, man. This was supposed to be our year. With how many seniors we have graduate, this team is not going to be the same next year. We'll be lucky if we... Oh, man. We'll be lucky if we have half the talent next year that we have now. I mean, I know we have, what's his name? Elfring coming in, but with the amount of players going out, I don't know. I don't feel confident about next year, especially with the amount of 5-star players we have who could probably be making the jump into the NHL. Oy. This was not the year to have an injury to Fiddler. Oh, man. I mean, I'm not solely blaming it on the injury to Fiddler, obviously, but he is a huge part of our defensive core, so that hurts. That really hurts. That's disappointing. Well, I think we'll go up till July 1st and then we'll end things off. And the NCAA tournament champions are the Colgate Raiders. And they actually lost their initial game in the first round against Connecticut, but then they won and then went through Bowling Green, Bemidji State, and Merrimack to win the NCAA championship. And here we go, awards ceremony time. For the Hockey Humanitarian Award, you have Jake Richard of Connecticut, I believe that is. Yes, indeed. And the Hobie Baker between Beam, McMorrow, and Stiga is Braden Beam, who is now a free agent but was previously with Lake Superior. And the playoff MVP is Lucas Mann of, I was about to say Calgary, Colgate. The Mike Richter Award between Clark Ironside and Corpy is Carson Ironside of Brown. And best GM between Bardsley, Large, and Pelfrey is Trevor Large of Canisius. And the best coach between O'Trainer, Gonzalez, and Large, it is Trevor Large. So he's the coach and the GM of Canisius. Wow, they were 32-3-2. Yeah, I understand that. And here's our season summary. So we reached the playoffs. We had a winning season, a winning percentage of 600 better. We finished first. We didn't reach the finals, and we won the championship. So looks like the same thing as last year has happened. So that win championship has got to be referring to the divisional championship, but it just feels weird that it would count that for the divisional, but not reach the finals. It looks a little weird like that, saying that you didn't reach the finals, but you won the championship. Anyway, our total season score is 39, bringing our total career score to 144. So I think I'm going to put player management up there as high as I can, because I don't know if that affects team harmony like it does with the coaches, but just in case my player management rating also does affect team harmony rating, I'm going to make sure to have that up there as high as possible. And yep, there it is. Daniel D'Alessandro has signed with the Chicago Blackhawks. So I guess we'll be seeing momentarily how much of our roster has gone off to other places. Yeah, the owner, he's not happy. Chris Winston is very disappointed with our performance this season. Going into the season, we expected to win a championship. I did too, for the record. Oh, man. I love how it says, if you can find a good veteran to add in the offseason, do it. I mean, I get that this is just a canned response for every league, but, you know, that's not exactly something I can do at this level. I can't imagine guys like Fiddler or Davidson hanging around. I think they're going to be stacked up by NHL teams, but we'll see what happens here, I suppose, going into September. Yup. I had a feeling. Oh no. Blake Fiddler goes to Boston. Jarrett Ross goes to New York. Deke Davidson goes to Vancouver. Tatarenko goes to Anaheim. And Yuntorp goes to Chicago. Oh no. I'm scared. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh man, our defensive core is looking rough again. Stenger and Kroll are our best options. And then you have a natural forward in Ratty and a natural forward in Zap as our... Oh no. Oh no. Forwards is looking a bit better. You have Gostik and Elfring there. Elfring is going to be the savior of this season if we somehow make it into the playoffs. Then you have Risto as our best center. So that's their first line right there of Gostik, Elfring, and Risto. Then you have Smith, Lundberg, Person, Grenier, Semileski, Brooks, Sinkinen, Doucette, Elliott. Then it really falls off with Decker, Wallace, Smith, Vardy, Hartfell, Bowie, and Douglas. Oh boy. That is most of our roster from last season gone. Just like that. Well, I guess that's just how she goes in the NCAA, but oh man, that's brutal. I mean, look at this transaction like. You got Yuntorp, Tatarenko, Davidson, Ross, Fiddler all going out. Not to mention guys who became free agents because they couldn't be here anymore because they were seniors. Guys like Kelgard, Ozelinch, Braviras, Brooks, D'Alessandro signed with Chicago as well. Tinling, Ketinen, Holchak, Cortona, Zinchenko, Lindfors is a guy. Stenman. Oh man, we lost so much. Oh boy. This will be interesting. This is going to be a very, very interesting season coming up here. And here we have the Hall of Fame inductions. Kevin Hatcher, Matthew Schneider, Brian Propp, and Dave Taylor on the Hockey Hall of Fame this year. All right, so we're at the preseason of year number 6, I believe it is now. And we do have a red shirt in Semileski, unfortunately, and that's a 3-star ability forward, so that's quite unfortunate, as he is actually our 4th best forward on the list according to his star abilities. So yeah, that's not good. Still have to set our captains too, because majority of our roster graduated, so we do not have a captain at the moment. I think it's got to be Gostik, just because he's the 5-star ability. He's a senior. He had 34 points last year in 34 games, and none of the other seniors on this roster really compare to what he's done. So I think he will be our captain going into this season. And then as for the alternates, man, our roster is either just freshmen or seniors. You have 3 juniors in between. That's it. Yeah, that's how much turnover we went through this past season. Lundberg and Stenger will be our other captains. Oh man, look at this team is going to be a disaster next year. We have Gosek, Risto, Stenger, Kroll, Smith, Lundberg, Person, Grenier, Howitt, Sinkinen, and Doucette all graduating after this upcoming season. And not to mention the high likelihood of Doug Elfring going into the NHL, who got picked at number 1, by the way, by the Calgary Flames. So, yeah. Next year, this team might be rough. Like, we might be in for it. All depending on what happens during the National Signing Day, of course, but still. I don't foresee many of our players being able to get to the ability that Elfring and Goisik, or how you pronounce his name, are at, you know. Anyway, I think that is about it for now. So in the next one, we will start year number 6 and get through National Signing Day. See you guys then.